All right. What's our next question, my dear?
Let's see here. Um, Here's a fun one.
Oh,
How many times has Julia worked on Tiffany? And it's a laughy face.
Well, maybe
is
they
this
heard
someone
that
you know?
story. Maybe they have heard the story.
Oh,
I tried. Tiffany was early on, and we were in France, and Tiffany was kind of stressing. I hope it's okay to tell a little bit of the backstory here, Tiff. She was in
That's fun.
college. I can't remember if it was master's or bachelor's, which one she was on, but she was kind of stressing about her finals and some big tests that were coming up. And so I was going to do a session with her and just see what we could find out. And she just laid there and laughed at me. That's why I think it's funny, the smiley laughing face or whatever,
laughing face.
because
Somebody
she
knew this story.
I think so. She just laughed and laughed, and I mean, I think it was the voice. I don't know, but she just couldn't get through that. So I finally was like, okay, I think we need to bring the master in. Mom was in the other room, so I just, I turned her over to mom. That's
Did that work?
Yeah, that worked. Now Tiffany will say it didn't, but it did. I was listening. I heard what.
I beg to differ. So I'll just clarify that I was laughing, yes, because of your voice. It was the when you would try to nicely, quote unquote, wake me up,
Oh,
and it would yeah, so it just I couldn't.
but see
Yeah.
that's where it's that's
Uh,
what we say. Family is good for practice. Don't expect too much. But it helps you. You get to go through it at a time. It's good for practice. Um, but yeah, but I always use Tiffany doesn't know this, but I always use her as an example in the class to say she laid there and laughed at me. That was what happened when I did my daughter. You just
it
keep
served a
going.
purpose.
And yep.
You're the
but
example. Oh,
um, let's see. We were going to carry that, so there was something with that. You were asking how. Okay, the mom did it. Okay, and that worked. She won't, because that's how she is. But she did great on her test. She did. Um, she got through, and that's where it's like that was what we were trying to accomplish, was
yeah.
get her to calm, to relax, so she can make it through the test.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, Tiffany, is it easy for you to take tests
Oh,
now that you've had this done?
It wasn't for a test, but no, tests are still very stressful and
now the
yeah.
rest of that question was how many times have I worked with her? So we do a lot of work. It may not be hypnosis, but we do a lot of Tiffany. This is something that's really cool, and you guys are probably seeing it in your lives too. If you have children, is we live this. I mean, her mom, and then me, and then Tiffany was raised in this, and so it's really cool. Like when situations are going on, we talk through things, and we discuss, from a metaphysical point of view. We're always doing it that way. I mean, we don't say, hey, let's have a metaphysical discussion. It's not like that. We just, well, I wonder what this is about. What can you be learning? What could this be? We explore it. And then what's really cool is then when I started seeing Tiffany doing the same thing with her friends, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is where and it's like, see, that's where she's a sphere of influence. We all have ripple effects. We all have our influence, with people around us. And so you work with your children, and then your children are out there doing it as well. And then people that they're touching are going to go out and touch other people. So